sharp increase in evictions. According to a report from Mo Clark with Investigate West, eviction filings have reached an all-time high in 2024 at more than 23,000. And this year is on track to surpass those numbers. Now, looking over those numbers, I've got a lot of questions. So to get some answers, let's bring in investigative reporter Mo Clark. Thanks for being here with us, Mo. And to start off, these figures, they're staggering. Is what we're seeing a hangover from the eviction moratorium during the pandemic, or has it evolved into something else? What's going on?
So yeah, the research does show that, we saw a big decrease during the early pandemic years. During eviction moratoriums, there was a lot more rental assistance available. Landlords couldn't file evictions, and kind of since things have been going pretty rapidly up, and in 2024 surpassed pre-pandemic levels. There was a lot of talks during sort of those increases that folks were catching up on the evictions they couldn't file during the pandemic due to moratoriums, but yeah, we've gotten to the point where it's surpassed pre-pandemic levels, and this is kind of a new wave.
Yeah, just looking at the graph we've got up here, it's showing the gradual increase since the pandemic. One place in particular seemed really interesting. Clark County, Southwest Washington, Oregon border, home to Vancouver. Clark County, out of every county in the state, has the highest eviction rate at 1 in 300. So why there? I was surprised, Clark, as compared to, let's say, King County.
Yeah, so 1 in 300 residents have faced an eviction in Clark County, and that's like per capita. So looking at the population and looking at how many evictions have been filed, taking into account the population, Clark County has held to that sort of ranking for a few years now. It's cheaper to live there. It's seen a lot of growth. Cost of housing across the board is going up, so that might be sort of contributing to a rise we're seeing there. They didn't have a huge increase from year to year as some other counties have seen, but they've sort of consistently had a really high eviction rate over the last 5 years.
Okay, so 5 years within that timeline. Okay. All right. On the horizon, though, let's talk about this. We've got new cuts to Medicaid and a planned 40% cut to rent assistance programs for low-income Americans. Do we expect that to impact eviction numbers? Will it cause them to only grow as costs go up?
Yeah, that's what a lot of the research is showing. That's sort of what housing advocates across the state have been really scared of. As housing costs go up, as sort of these safety net programs get cut, it impacts folks' ability to, make ends meet at the end of the month, and just pushes them closer to eviction. That sort of coupled with our existing homelessness crisis and affordable housing crisis, it really doesn't give folks a lot of options. They're just sort of getting pushed closer and closer to the edge.
Well, Mo, we want to give you a big thank you for doing the journalistic work, crunching those numbers and laying the data out for us to see. We got to keep tabs on what's happening over the next few months, so I appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.